Hey there, down at the farm we have a nice rainy day today, and so we have a couple of projects to do in this wash station pavilion area, and we're also working in the greenhouse this morning. Hopefully the rain's going to clear in the afternoon and we can get some planting done out in the field. Really excited about that. So today is the last day of the daily vlog run, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I talked a little bit about that in my video yesterday, and we're going back to 2 or 3 day a week posting schedule. I'm not sure yet, but there will not be a video tomorrow, guys. So I'll have a day off from talking into the camera and editing. But anyways, got a bunch of stuff to do around here today. Let's get it done. Well, we've been in build-out mode the last 2+ months, and this has just been a sort of catch-all of materials and stuff in here. So it's been nice to get that cleared out today. That was part of the goal. So we got all the wood and stuff cleared out, all the hardware cloth, all the like little bits of things of the projects we've been working on. And we hooked up this sink again. This sink had been disconnected for a while because we're moving things around, so we had to get the plumbing sorted. So we got that hooked up again, and this is just a general purpose sink. No food's gonna be in there, just for like washing hands, filling up water bottles, stuff like that. All the food handling is gonna be done in the wash station. So, but it's nice to have someplace that it's just hooked up and ready to go. And this sink was already here when we got here. It's kind of wobbly and whatever, but it's here. We got it hooked up, we got it working. The other thing we had to do today was to get the fill valve sorted out, and what this is this is called a Hudson float valve. I'll put a link down below if you're interested in getting one. They're great because they do a couple things. One is, once you get the height set, it's the same height of water every single time you fill it, so you don't have to worry about other people like, oh, is this enough water, is this not enough water? Once it's set, like, it'll fill, and then when it gets to a certain height, it'll just shut off. Super handy. The other thing is you can turn it on and walk away, and it'll be full when you get back, so double bonus. But we just had to get the height right. It wasn't filling to the right height, so this is all set. So basically, we're all good to go out here. We're flipping a bed out in the greenhouse and bringing guys out there. All right, well, even though it's raining, we're in the greenhouse, so we get some work done in here, and we're flipping this last bed over here and had arugula in it, which we got some cuts off of. And because it's been so warm this spring, it grew like crazy big and fast, and just the quality's not there for the second cut, and we're not comfortable with that. So we're gonna flip that bed. I'd rather get something in there quickly and get it growing so we have something to put out even faster, you know, sooner. So it's always a thing, is like, if you're questionable quality and, you know, or you're not sure if something's gonna make it, just get it out, put something else in the ground, because, you know, the spring, things are growing fast right now with the heat, and we can get another crop out. So we actually pulled out the crops, and we're gonna get away from that. As I mentioned before, we're gonna get into putting down compost and then tarping it for a couple weeks, so we don't have to hand pull it, because it's just a lot of time. And it also pulls out a lot of soil, and I like to leave the roots in the ground whenever possible. So, but today we only have so many beds, and I want to make sure we have stuff to sell in a couple weeks. So we just pulled that out. We're laying down compost, and we're gonna tilth it, rake it, and direct seed some kale into it, and we'll do baby kale this time. So that's what we're up to in here. Got this tilth now. Kate's raking it out. The compost is really wet, so it's kind of a challenge, but we'll get this bed flipped. Got the bed all prepped. It's a little wet, but it's all right. We got the jang out here. We're gonna direct seed some red Russian kale. We're gonna do 7 rows and do it as a baby green. Got that seeded nicely. Gave a nice lesson to Kate and Dave and Jean that were here, trying to get everyone on board with, you know, how to flip beds. So I don't have to do them all myself. And it was wet, but the jang just cruises right through it, so it's awesome. We got red Russian kale in here. I'm not gonna water right now just because the soil's so moist, and we'll water it later on in the day. So gonna take a break, eat some lunch, and then we're gonna transplant out some eggplants and tomatoes on the field, and install some drip tape out there. So we gotta get another zone of irrigation set up today too. Well, if you guys haven't met Kate, she's one of our lovely interns and knows about all sorts of cool stuff. NC State student. Kate, what are you studying?
Environmental technology and management.
Okay, and you got a couple minors too. You're like
agroecology and horticulture.
I don't think I could have scored a better intern, really. All right, so what are you doing right now, Kate?
I am getting rid of all the flowers and seeds on this dock, because it is a great medicinal, but a pain in the butt in the garden. It's got an intensive root system, and so it's impossible to get out, so we're taking out this seed before it spreads and gets into our beds.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that was Kate, one of our fantastic interns, as I said. I'm super excited to have her here. She's man, she's gonna be an awesome farmer or whatever she winds up doing, but great to have her and her experience here and her energy. So you'll see more from her, and if you guys want to follow her on Instagram, I'll leave a link down below for her account. I don't really know if she's posting much farm content, but she said I should share it, so there you go. The rain has subsided for a little while right now. I didn't have the camera out because it was drizzly, so we did get these 3 beds planted behind me. These are for that new field block. So we got 2 eggplants. I'm doing Orient Express and Nadia. These are my 2 favorites of the 4 that I grew last year. And then this is a bed of tomatoes that we got from that were donated to us, and I don't really know what they are. They said like big red on them or something, so I assume they're determinate tomatoes. We spaced them out about 2 feet apart. We'll plant them. I wasn't planning on using the stuff from there, but I don't know, they're plants. Let's put them in the ground. So we still have a bunch of stuff left over, but I figure we had enough to do one bed, so do that. So this is that block E. So we're gonna be doing vertically growing crops here, and right now we got to set up the irrigation for this. We're gonna do drip, so that's what's coming up right now. Got the irrigation all set up out here. So set up the drip for 3 beds. We only put in 2 lines per bed because we're just gonna be doing eggplants and tomatoes and cucumbers out here, so we don't need 4 lines. We can always punch in more if we want to. I'll show you a quick look around, but I did a whole video about irrigation system at my old place, and it's basically the same thing. So if you have any questions about irrigation, I'll put a link here, and I'll also put one in the description so you guys can check that out. And please go watch that before we ask questions, because I really went through everything in that video. It's a very comprehensive video, but I'll show you around a little bit here and how we set it up. All right, so starting here at our timer, we only have 2 zones hooked up right now because we only have 2 field blocks going, but coming out of the timer we have a filter and a pressure reducer. I have it at 10 psi, so it's somewhere between 8 and 15 psi I believe is right for drip. So I have it at 10. Comes out, T's here. We have a flow-through system, so there's a line going out to the other side with a header. There's a header that runs along this way. Valves that are barbed that just you make a punch and they go right in, so you can turn each line on and off. And then down at the end over here I have a valve, and that's good for flushing out the lines, and also in the winter time you can open that up and let the water out and relieve the pressure so that things don't freeze. And it's the same thing over on the other side, just have a header running across there. So very, very simple setup, and allows for a lot of modularity and flexibility. So yep, got drip in this block and overhead over there in that block. All right, things are pretty much wrapping up here. Sun's coming out, which is great, but just a couple more things checked off the list, and I just feel like we're getting closer to getting into more of a routine here, which is pretty awesome. Having our first farm stand, we're gonna be doing those Wednesday nights, so this Wednesday will be our first farm stand, and we'll do a harvest this week for that. So it's just really exciting. I feel like all the plans are coming together, and farm will be operational and cranking out some food and selling it to our community, and it's gonna be awesome. And this is great too. This block is getting used right away. We got this built on Saturday, and we got plants in the ground today and irrigation set up, so that's awesome. And the last 2 beds out here, which we didn't plant today, we're gonna be cucumbers, and those are still growing, so we'll get those transplanted out in a week or 2, and this block will be full. So that's just totally fantastic. So just to let you guys know, this is the last vlog of my month-long daily vlogging session, or whatever you want to call it, streak. And so there will be no video tomorrow. I'll probably be posting Thursday, and I will be figuring out a new schedule probably for next week. I just don't know what that is yet, but I'll let you guys know. And as I like to do, I like to keep on a schedule so that I just, stay focused myself and make sure that I am recording videos. It's easy to start slacking off when you don't have a schedule. At least that's what works for me. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.